So, Carlo Ancelotti is off to Brazil. He's going to manage the national team. I think he's the first permanent foreign manager they've ever had, And it's an interesting appointment, but of course, the big talk of the town in Europe is Xabi Alonso is going to take charge of Real Madrid, and they want to get him in before the Club World Cup, which will give him absolutely no time to prepare. And I was listening to a football podcast, the Football Ramble, talk about this, and it got me thinking that I kind of want to speak about it here on the channel as well, because I've long been saying, although I'm a big admirer of the work Arne Slot did at Liverpool, I've been saying it, like changing the sort of transitional high-octane football to a little bit more controlled, Gravenberch, being a really central, important Regista-style midfielder, putting his foot on the ball and winning the Premier League. But I've also been very firm in saying if there was any team in the Premier League that was ripe to just have a change of influence at the top and they'd be really good, because they're like the third oldest team in the Premier League, Liverpool. They've got Premier League winners and they're Champions League winners, high paid, high talent players. They just needed a new voice ready to go. Arne Slot provided that. I'm not trying to denigrate what is an incredible feat of management, incredible work, but if there was one oven-ready team, it would have been Liverpool. Now, this is not the case of Xabi Alonso with Real Madrid. You're probably saying, come on, Jan, they've got so many superstars, they've got Galacticos, and they've got so much quality, and that's true. But I want to speak about why this is actually going to be really, really tough for Xabi Alonso. So welcome back to Football Yannick. Just a quick little bit of housework, mate. If you want to support the content, why not drop a like on the video and subscribe if you are a fan. I really do appreciate that. It's a beautiful... It's late spring. It feels like summer's day here in the kingdom, so I'm feeling good and I'm happy to be chatting to you here, even if I'm sweating my gonads off. Look, man, it's not been... Firstly, Xabi Alonso, probably the top desired young coach in world football, an illustrious playing career across multiple leagues, big clubs, Liverpool, Bayern, and Real Madrid themselves, and of course, just a big international name. Had the miracle with Bayer Leverkusen, invincible season, won the double, nearly had an invincible treble. Really incredible stuff. He's the guy, yeah. So I get it that I think every team in world football that need a coach would have had him top of the tree. In fact, Liverpool did before they got Arne Slot, and he stayed by Leverkusen. So yeah, he's good. He's really freaking good. But he's not turning up to an oven-baked team, and he is coming from a team that he's built into a real collective, a proper set of players that play together as a team. Now, this is the antithesis of Real Madrid this season. Of course, Real Madrid are going to go trophyless this season, and that doesn't happen to Real Madrid. It just simply doesn't, yeah. They've lost to Barcelona 4 times this season. They're El Clasico rivals. They've just come off before Mbappe arrived, and when, Jude Bellingham was playing at the tip of a diamond in Carlo's innovative attack, they were winning the best trophies around last season. And this season, they've descended into chaos, dysfunction, I'd argue shameful behaviour off the pitch as well, with some of the stuff they've done, whether it's, from the nonsense of the Ballon d'Or to they was nearly going to boycott the Copa del Rey final, or that's what the briefs were, the reports were. So really, really poor optics. Some of the stuff they come out with, So they've been smashed about by their rivals, Barcelona, beaten comprehensively 4 times, no trophies, dysfunction on the pitch. Of course, they had an absolute embarrassment, both home and away, to Arsenal in the Champions League. Arsenal, of course, a team that are good, but they themselves have never won a Champions League. It's bad. It is bad. They have been decimated by defensive injuries, and that will be one of the big things that Xabi Alonso will need to change early doors. Should they be able to put the funds together, which I imagine they'd be able to, they are the favourites for Dean Howson in terms of his preferred destination. Of course, Spanish international, young defender, centre-back for Bournemouth, that, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea all want. But understandably, as a Spain international and Real Madrid being Real Madrid, he'd prefer to go there. So that would be a good, signing off the bat. They've been missing Alaba and Rudiger at points, and just defensively they've looked all over the gaff. They have a lot of Galactico attackers. Now, of course, there's the Mbappe situation. He scored a hat-trick in the last Clasico and lost, which is really frustrating for him. He has scored a lot of goals. I think he's had a better debut season than Cristiano Ronaldo there. So he's scoring goals, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the perfect fit, because he leaves PSG are really good. He joins a really successful and good functioning attack in Real Madrid, and it's all been thrown off out of balance. Of course, Jude Bellingham was not only scoring a lot of goals himself when he was playing at the tip of the diamond, but there was good balance in the attack, and playing in the likes of Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo, and it just sort of felt good. Now the likes of Rodrigo would want to leave. You got three players that want to play on the left. Mbappe wants to play on the left. Vinicius Jr. wants to play on the left. And actually, it's not talked about much, but Rodrigo wants to play on the left, and he might leave. So there's disharmony and dysfunction in the attack, despite having loads of Galactico players. But you think they'll make it work, right? If you're scoring 3 goals, I know Barcelona's defence has descended into a shambles themselves, and Hansi Flick has come out and said, yeah, we need to defend better next season. But they're going to win the league this season. They've won the cup. They did very well in the Champions League, although they had a disappointing exit to Inter. Barca are going to be fine. They've got loads of young players coming through. They look really good. Real Madrid look like they've got those sort of overpaid, super expensive Galacticos that you can't fit together. And of course, Carlo Ancelotti, and dare I say much like Zinedine Zidane, was kind of a Galactico whisperer, getting the best out of them. And apparently Ancelotti himself wanted reinforcements for this season. He didn't get them, and maybe it's because they knew the long-term plan was building for Xabi Alonso and not Carlo, who's of course on the edge of retirement / managing Brazil. So I get it, man. I get it. So Xabi's got a real hard job on his hands, because he's, like I said, it's the opposite of what he's got. They're going to need patience. Of course, we know he's bringing in the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's going to be a sort of long-term successor to Carvajal. Carvajal in the right-back position. He's nowhere near as a good defender as him. He's going to be offering more going forward. So this is something that Xabi Alonso has to consider, because they're not going to play him in midfield, Trent. Or they might do, but I don't feel like they're going to play him in midfield, which is really, really interesting. They've got plenty of midfielders. They never properly replaced Kroos, but again, different kind of player. Apparently they wanted Zubimendi, who's going to Arsenal. They will make signings, and the signings will want to come to Real Madrid. They still have the best pull, even in their really difficult moment. So Dean Howson, Trent Alexander-Arnold straight into the back line. Let's just say they get Dean Howson if they can get the money, because it's a 50 million release clause. They can pay 50 million, and he'll accept whatever wages they offer him, because it's going to be at least triple what he gets at Bournemouth, regardless, and he'll have the prestige of playing at the club he wants to play. The midfield, they just will they find a harmony in attack? Will they keep the egos in check? Will finally Kylian Mbappe find a way to keep? He always scores goals, but score goals in such a way that's helping the team more. Is it tracking back? Is it running the appropriate channels? Is it occupying the defenders better and not just running in behind and scoring a lot of goals? It's hard to criticize a guy who scores loads of goals, really. There are certain players that you kind of let them go, yeah, you do what you want, and it's a guy who scores a hat-trick in El Clasico. If anyone's allowed, he's allowed, right? So Xabi Alonso is going to have to look at all of this, yeah, and find a way to make balance. But I'm not sure it's being spoken about enough, because it is Real Madrid. They've got all these players. They've got this pull. They'll sign new players. Xabi Alonso is an amazing coach. It's going to be okay. But the comparison against, with slot to Liverpool, like, I'll take it from here, thank you very much. It's not that at all. It's going to be super, super tough. He's going to have to make some changes, and he might have to make some really hard decisions in terms of, some players being unhappy. And it's fascinating to see what he's going to do there. So let me know your thoughts. Comment down below how you think it's going to go. Thank you, as always, for joining me on Hit Football Yannick. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Daily content here, mate, so make sure you keep it locked. All right, take care of yourselves. Peace.